What is up, sports bettors? Welcome to Guys and Bets on this Tuesday, the 5th day of March. Andy Raver here with Jonny OddsShark. Big show for you today. We're going to talk a little golf with the Arnold Palmer Invitational coming up. We're going to talk about what is exactly wrong with the LA Lakers.
Okay.
Good Lord. Rumors that the Jacksonville Jags might have a new QB. Chris Abbott's got NHL Quick Picks. I've got a Champions League pick for tomorrow's games. They're on Wednesday. But first, Jonny, let's get into tonight's bites where you're red hot 10-5 with your picks over the last 5 episodes. Let's start in the NBA. Celtics Warriors. This one has the Warriors as 8-point home fave. Celtics 1-5 straight up in their last 6, 1-4 ATS in their last 5. But Jonny, Golden State 1-9 ATS in its last 10 games. What are your thoughts on this game between two ice cold bets?
Boy, this is a tough one to handicap. Warriors worst bet at home in the NBA. Celtics worst bet on the road in the NBA. My feeling with this one is the spread is too high, and we saw it come down from 9 to 8. It might even come down a little bit more. But I just can't take the Celtics right now. I just can't. Yep. Way too much trouble, especially on offense. They won't be able to keep up with the Warriors. Give me Golden State.
Warriors last 20 as faves, 5-14-1. Horrible. Let's go to the ice now. Jets at Lightning. Tampa Bay, huge fave here around -200. Jets have won back-to-back games after losing back-to-back games. Well, the Bolts are 11-1 straight up in their last 12. Beat the Sens as -500 favorites on them.
I was up to -600. I've never seen a hockey line like that before in my life.
What do you like in this game against the Jets?
Well, the total's 7 for a reason. The Jets.
You're going total.
Yeah, I'm going total. The Jets have given up at least 3 goals in 8 of their last 9 games.
Yeah.
No Buff lately. That hurts them too. Going up against the top scoring team in the NHL, I'm going to take the over. The 7 doesn't scare me.
College hoops, 30-plus games on the board tonight. Let's go to Virginia Tech, Florida State. Florida State favored by 4 here. Hokies 2-4-1 ATS in their last 7. Seminoles 0-3 ATS in their last 3. Tech has lost 10 in a row straight up at Florida State and have lost those by an average of just over 11 points. What are your thoughts here?
Well, I think Florida State at home with a deeper bench, they're going to come through here. Virginia Tech, since losing Justin Robinson, they have 3 guys that are playing almost 40 full minutes a game, and I think that's going to get them in trouble here. I'm going with Florida State, the hotter shooting team right now, too.
There you go, Jonny OddsShark Quick Picks for tonight's NHL, NBA, and college hoops. If you know anything about Jonny OddsShark, you know that he loves his golf. And this weekend, we've got a big event on the PGA calendar. It's the Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill. Jonny, who won this event last year?
Rory McIlroy.
Old Tin Cup, Rory McIlroy did win last year. He leads the odds board here, plus 650. Brooks Koepka, Justin Rose right behind 11-1. Ricky Fowler, 12-1, so on and so forth. 8-time winner, Tiger Woods, bowed out. Pulled himself out of this event. So first, I want you to talk to me and the folks at home about this track and which type of golfer this course caters to the most, and then throw us a couple picks if you've got any thoughts on that.
Well, we're into the Florida swing now in golf, so a lot of these courses have the same characteristics, and what we're looking for is shot makers, great iron players with good proximity to the hole. The other thing with Bay Hill, length is a little bit better than accuracy off the tee. Length will help, and then scrambling as well. So putting, anybody can get hot on these greens. It's whoever figures them out the best earliest on, so I don't look quite as much at putting in the Florida swing as I do during other tournaments, but we're looking for some big names here, and guys that fit those categories that I mentioned here that are a little further down the list. Like I took Brooks Koepka and I took Justin Rose. This course suits them both really well, both 11-1. Took those guys. Luke List is another guy at 66-1 that fits those categories. Daniel Berger's another one at 66-1. Gary Woodland's another one that I like. So look for those guys with length and good iron players, and you should come out okay. Big names tend to do well at this tournament at Bay Hill as well.
Is this one of your favorite non-majors there on the PGA Tour?
Yeah, for sure. I've been to this course. I've seen this event as well. Yeah, so this one, it's Arnold Palmer, so a lot to love about this event.
Not a lot to love, Jonny, about the Los Angeles Lakers, and there have been some really, really bad NBA teams at the betting window this season, and the Lakers are one of those. So LeBron James, last week, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, says, quote, playoff mode is activated, but Lakers 2-7 straight up in their last 9, 1-8 ATS over that same stretch, 30-34 on the season, 10th in the West, 5.5 games back of the 8th seed San Antonio Spurs. They got the Nuggets tomorrow night, I believe. But, Johnny, 15-1 to win the title, 12-1 to win the West.
Wow.
My question to you is why, first of all, two-parter, why? And then what's gone wrong here?
Oh, wow. First one's easy. LeBron.
Right.
LeBron. People can't throw their money fast enough at LeBron. And he's overcome some things in the past that when you can count him out, that he's come through and proven to have results. So that's the biggest reason. That said, the odds are ridiculous. Do not do this. Do not do this. You know, I rarely tell people do or do not do things.
I saw on TV this morning, ESPN said they have a 1% chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I just read 2% as well. And wow, LeBron, and this is playoff mode. Is this the new playoff mode at this stage of his career? Because this is pathetic.
Did you see him inbound the ball against the
backboard? Yeah, I saw somebody say that it's when you're throwing in your last chips at the blackjack table.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
And okay, great. We follow the same people. That's great. But his effort level is pathetic. He's your leader, and you're looking around, and he just does not give a crap about defense right now.
Yeah.
They're terrible defensively. No Lonzo Ball is hurting them on the defensive end as well. And just playing effort level is pretty sad, but these guys are not going to make the playoffs. And
I don't think they have a chance in hell.
I don't think they do either. And please do not take those odds. Please don't take the Lakers at these odds.
Absolutely not. Stay away, for the love of God. There should be odds on how many more losses the Lakers have before LeBron.
The over-under on wins for the rest of the season, that would be something, that would be interesting. We should take a look and do that.
But I say, how many more losses do the Lakers need before LeBron is put on the shelf for the rest of the season?
Oh man, it's not that many. 5?
2? Yeah, 5.
I mean, he's already there. He says no more load management games, but he comes off an injury. I need load management. Like, come on, they're ridiculous right now.
Yeah, big failure there in Tinseltown for the Lakers, and then the Clippers have kind of gone the other way. They're climbing up the board. So
they're my favorite LA team.
Are they? Yeah, that's good. Over to the NFL now here, Johnny, and it appears as if the Jags are going to get a new quarterback, and that guy is, of course, Nick Foles, or Nick Baby Horses, as you like to call him. Now, teams cannot talk deals until the 11th, so next Monday, and no deal can officially be announced until the 13th. But, Johnny, Jags currently 30-1 in Super Bowl futures. If they do indeed sign Nick Foles, Super Bowl winner, as evidenced by that photo right there, what sort of impact is that going to have on that 30-1 number, if any at all?
Well, I don't think a lot in the short term, and I think that's a mistake. I took Jags yesterday, 33-1.
Did you?
And yeah, I love this now. I love Nick Foles potentially going there, and I don't know what this guy has to do to get credibility in the NFL, but that's fine by me because it keeps the odds juicy here for us. But he salvaged the Eagles season last year. He won a Super Bowl. Teammates just adore this guy.
Yeah.
And this has been the problem for the Jags. Quarterback, terrible quarterback play with them over the last couple seasons. They're not going to get that anymore. They're going to get efficient quarterback play. They got a running back and a great defense. I don't know. They are worth a shot at 30-1. I think their odds should be more like 20-1 or less.
Okay.
If they do get Nick Foles, so I would say take them now. But I don't think a lot of the betting market thinks the same way I do about Nick Foles.
Well, let me ask you this: let's hypothetically he signs there. He's the Jags quarterback. What, in your estimation, is his value to the spread as an upgrade over one Mr. Blake Bortles?
I mean, it's at least a touchdown, maybe double digits in points. And you might think I'm crazy.
I do.
Bortles is the worst quarterback in the NFL. It's so bad. Balls are batted down. He can't throw an accurate pass short or long. He can't get them out of trouble. He's a terrible third down QB. Nick Foles is just efficient. He won't make mistakes, and he'll get plays done. He's a good third down QB. He does a lot of these things well, and that's all the Jags need. They have a lot of the other pieces. So I think, Bortles he can be worth minus points in games.
I agree with that.
As a quarterback.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's insane to say that Nick Foles could be worth as much as 10 more.
So you think, let's say the Jags are a 3-point home fave at home against, let's just say, the Titans.
Yeah.
If Nick Foles is under center, That means they're 10-point home faves?
For me.
For Jonny OddsShark.
For me, I think the reflection from odds makers would probably be more like 3.5, 4.
Right.
I just think that's way off.
Let me ask you this. You're talking about Blake Bortles being the worst QB in the NFL. If they were playing a pickup football game and you were captaining one team and your life depended on it, and it came to picking quarterbacks and it was between Blake Bortles and Nathan Peterman, who are you picking to lead your team?
That's a great question. Well done, lad. That is good. Bortles, I guess.
Oh, okay.
But just because statistically Peterman is the worst QB of all time, which is only slightly better than Bortles.
Right. Let's go back to the ice here and let's check in with our boy Chris Abbott for this week's NHL Quick Picks. He went 2-1 last week, 4-2 over the last 2 episodes of NHL Quick Picks, so let's hope he keeps that streak alive. 10 games on the board tonight, so here is Chris's 3 favorite plays.
Thanks, Johnny and Ninja. Well, it's not just the Chicago Blackhawks that are on a crazy overstreak. We're going to talk more about that in a second. We went 2 for 3 in this segment last week, and it should have been a sweep, but I outsmarted myself on the Blues-Predators game. I didn't give Jordan Binnington enough credit. That game went under when I said over. Anyway, speaking of totals, there's not much in the way of great money line plays tonight, so I'm going to make totals plays on all 3 of my games. The first one is under 6 goals between the Hurricanes and the Bruins. The under has hit in 6 of the Bruins' last 8 home games and 7 of their last 10 overall. Boston is allowing just 2.43 goals per game, which is number 2 in the National Hockey League behind the New York Islanders. Meanwhile, Carolina has also been stingy in their defensive zone with just 2.68 goals against per game, ranking them 6th in the league in that category. In Eastern Conference games this year, the under has hit in 24 of 39 games for the Hurricanes and in 23 of 37 games for the Bruins. All the numbers here are pointing to an under, so that's where I'm going too. Staying in the East, I'm taking under 2.5 team goals for the Ottawa Senators against the Islanders. As I just mentioned, Barry Trotz's group is the best defensive team in the league, allowing just 2.34 goals per game on average. And they'll be locked in after taking a spanking from the Flyers on Sunday. Ottawa, meanwhile, is coming off a win against the number 28 scoring defense of the Florida Panthers on Sunday. That's the first time they've scored more than 2 goals since February 18th, a span of 7 games. Ottawa gets a much tougher test tonight than they had on Sunday, and I think 2 goals scored is a maximum for them in this one. Lastly, I'm taking over 5.5 goals when the Montreal Canadiens visit the Los Angeles Kings in a rematch of the 1993 Stanley Cup Final. 14 of the Kings' last 17 games have gone over, so they're right there with Chicago in this stat. The total in those games had an average combined score of 6.5. Additionally, the over is 10-4 when the Kings host teams from the Eastern Conference in LA. For Montreal, 5 of its last 6 games have gone over 5.5 goals, and their struggling power play will be happy to see the league's number 30 penalty kill on the other side, as LA has been one of the top penalized teams over the last few weeks. That's it for today's NHL Quick Picks video, guys. Hopefully we can get a sweep tonight and build off last week's success. For more NHL betting analysis, head over to oddshark.com, and don't forget to keep an eye out for Joe Gallant's NBA Quick Picks on Thursday.
There you go, NHL Quick Picks. Chris has Canes Bruins under 6, Sens under 2.5 team goals, and Habs Kings over 5.5. Not just the Blackhawks getting it done on the over, but the LA Kings as well.
Yeah, some crazy overstreaks we're seeing right now in the NHL. A couple different reasons. One of the big reasons with the Kings, they're getting terrible goaltending.
Yeah.
The Blackhawks just horrible team defense, and they're on fire on offense. So
right.
A couple of different reasons there, but some streaks to keep an eye on.
Yeah, Blackhawks still getting it done. It's amazing. Champions League back today here, right as we took to the airwaves with Dortmund Spurs, Madrid Ajax, and on Wednesday we've got Porto Roma and PSG Man U. So I've got picks here for the Wednesday game, and I'm going to make a play on the Porto Roma game, which shifts to Portugal. Roma up 2-1 after the first leg. So I'm going to take a shot with the Porto money line at plus 105 at home against a really bad road team. Porto has been incredible at home this season and has won all 3 Champions League home games. Roma quite bad on the road overall. Just 4 wins, 4 draws, 5 losses in their last 13 road games in all competitions. Roma has just 1 win, 2 losses on the road during their Champions League campaign. I expect Porto to come out flying in this one. Down 2-1 after the first leg in Rome, so I'm going to take a shot there. Plus 105 money line in Portugal.
Terrible aroma sounds like coming from there.
Terrible aroma.
You've been hot in these though, haven't you?
So
Champs League?
first Champs League week I went 2-0.
Yeah.
Second Champions League week I went 0-2, and then last week with no Champions League it was just footy picks from around the continent 2-0.
Well, if I bet football, I would tail you.
And you should be tailing my column, Johnny.
Yes.
8-2-2 over my last 3 columns, which come out on Friday. You can find shameless plug here.
No, it's a good read. Seriously, it is a good read.
OddsShark.com. 8-2-2. I take my 3 favorite picks from around Europe, and then a greasy parlay for fun, which has hit in, I believe, 3 straight or 4
Are you
straight.
serious? Well, nothing greasy about that.
Yeah, I try and get something a little bit over a unit. So like last week, if you put 100 on the parlay, you get 140 back, something like that.
Yep.
All in good fun. So thank you so much for watching this show. We will be back on Thursday, same time, at Guys and Bets. If you don't follow Johnny on Twitter, at Jonny OddsShark, and myself, at Chalk_Ninja. And speaking of overs in professional sports, we'll leave you with the shark bite of the day. Catch you on Thursday.